The political structure in Sassari at the time of the statutes was the following. At the top, the podesteria. Nominated by the Genoese, this was led by the podestà, the mayor, assisted by his deputy, subcabelleri, and by a notary with technical duties. The major council was composed of 100 selected cives, free citizens of Sassari, 25 from each of the city's 4 districts. Between these two, the Elders' Council, that acted as a more operative body and was in strict collaboration with the podesteria. It was made up of 16 members, 4 for each of the city's districts, and were randomly drawn from the members of the major council. The temporal description of its workings in the statute's text has been interpreted in various ways by different historians. In Gaetano Madao Diaz's vision, the office's overall time span was 8 months. Let's chart this model on a 4 8-month full-cycle timeframe. Once the 16 councillors reached the end of their term of office, they would have been replaced by the same number of new councillors, in turn randomly selected themselves, and so on. According to Madao Diaz, as a result, every 8 months the Elders' Council's whole composition would be completely renewed.
Let's consider the logic behind this setup. The council's members were not officials or professional politicians, but cives, citizens who freely offered their services to the community. Once they completed their office, they could go back to their regular occupations. The principle of alternating members was aimed at limiting the possibility or power being concentrated in the hands of the few.
The way in which the statutes defined this pattern was based on a very particular mechanism, as the councillor's replacement was gradual, following a scheme which was both simple yet sophisticated. If we apply this mechanism to our original model, we can highlight an interesting pattern, which is worth trying to analyse in detail.
Let's now consider the mechanism dictating the shifting of the councillors in each single district. Every 2 months, one of the district's 4 councillors would reach the end of his office and needed to be replaced. Every 8 months, therefore, each of the district's 4 councillors would be replaced.
As this mechanism applied to each of Sassari's 4 districts, every 2 months there would be 4 new councillors. According to Madao Diaz, the whole council would hence be completely renewed every 8 months.
Although no direct reference to this can be found in the statutes, we believe that this formula was intended to reach an important functional goal.
Let's go back to our model and change our point of view. We will assign a colour to the degree of seniority in office matured by each councillor. The yellow colour indicates the first 2 months of office and will be reduced in brightness for each of the remaining 2-month intervals.
If we look closely at the segment corresponding to our 2-month fractions, we can notice how, although a quarter of the council members were substituted, the overall level of seniority in that role remained unchanged. The 4 new councillors, in fact, joined the other 4 already in office for 2 months. Those for 4 months and the remaining 4. Those at the end of their office already in office for 6 months. The principle of graduality of such a system seems to be aimed at favouring a handover that, by combining alternation with continuity, could ensure the board's harmonious functioning, facilitating the transmission of know-how among its members.
The organisational structure of the Elders' Council of the city of Sassari, as described in its 1316 statutes, is not only a good example of the communal spirit characteristic of that time, but, thanks to some of its founding elements, appears as a sophisticated and extremely relevant example of power management.